Let me ask you a question that nobody really talks about in healthcare. How much are you worth? And I'm not talking about your salary or your hourly wage or whatnot. I'm talking about you as an individual, your expertise, your experience, your knowledge, who you are as a person. How much is that worth? Because if you're like any other healthcare professional, you are made to believe that your worth is tied to your salary. But I'm here to tell you that it goes much, much deeper than that you might not even realize. And I wanted to make this video to help bring clarity to that question. You see, the big problem right here is that I've worked in healthcare for over 6 years and I feel stuck and frustrated. And I think a lot of healthcare workers kind of share similar frustrations as me. It's pretty common, right? We are passionate about our job. We work really, really hard. We grind away, day after day after day. But it simply feels that there's a cap on the growth that we can achieve. That, financially, maybe through promotions or what, that there is a cap, right? There's only so much we can do no matter how hard we work. And there's a few, reasons for that. Of course, there's inflation. Promotions are pretty rare. And even though you get like a raise or whatnot, it has to go to things like paying off your debt, your mortgage, trying to start a family. It is tough, right? So the question here is that, do you just have to accept that, okay, this is how things are. I've already chosen my path. I work in healthcare. I just have to hunker down, wish for the best, and hope when I retire, things will be good? Or is there an alternative path where you're able to scale your income in order to live a life where you have the freedom to do what you want to do, spend time with your family, work on projects that you like, travel and all these kind of things? Is there a path towards getting there as a healthcare professional? And I want to talk to you about that today. I want to challenge your mindset with a question. What if your career in healthcare is not a ceiling, but simply the foundation of what you're capable of? I think the problem is that many healthcare professionals, we study really hard, we go through this rigorous training to get all our certificates, we pay a lot of debt to get into school, and eventually when we get into the healthcare system and we get to work the job of our dreams, right, we feel like that's the end goal, that we can just stay here, work here, and things will work out, that things will be stable. But unfortunately, that's just not how things work. Like if you are anything like the average healthcare professional, you know what I'm talking about. With the debt, with how much we have to work, with our pay, it's difficult to keep up with the pace of living. It's not anyone's fault. It's just how the system is built, is how things are. And I want to figure out a way to solve this problem. And the only way you can actually get started is you need to come up with this mindset of understanding that your healthcare job is but a foundation. It's a foundation to collect more skills, more knowledge, more experience with doing things, and to use that to actually jumpstart the next thing, to actually infuse the next thing, to be able to help more people, to give more value. And that's essentially how you're going to scale and increase your income. Because if you really think about it, as a healthcare provider, how do you really make money, right? You share your knowledge, you have skills that you can deliver. But the problem is that you're so specialized in what you can deliver that the market value or the world, the hospital, whatever it is, has already determined how much you are worth, right? And that's the problem, because no matter how hard you work, that is how much you are actually going to be paid. So what you really need to think about is, what are the skills are you acquiring? What are the things that you're gaining knowledge of? And how can you turn it into something, create something that can benefit someone in the long run to solve an actual problem in the world? Because at the end of the day, yes, you are a healthcare worker, but you are also a builder, a creator, and somebody who's capable of achieving a lot more if you're able to solve the right problems. But of course, this raises the question, how do you actually get there? It's of course going to be a long road and it's pretty difficult, and I don't even know where to start because all I know of is, healthcare. So the question to that is, how do you uncover this potential? How do you figure out the next steps and actually see what you need to do and where you need to go in order to get to this whole new area, this whole new world of what you're actually capable of as a healthcare worker? And the answer to that really is to utilize technology, specifically the power of artificial intelligence. Now, here's the deal. When I say the word artificial intelligence, you might have an emotional response to it. Some people might think like, oh, it's one of those just fancy things where it's just a glorified search engine. Some people might think like, oh, I'm really scared of it. It might take over my job. But here's the reality of the situation and how the world's progressing is that artificial intelligence is getting better and better and better. And one day, most businesses and how our world functions, just like the internet, is going to be heavily reliant on artificial intelligence. So it's much better that instead of fearing it or ignoring it, you learn how to utilize it to your advantage. And I'm going to show you how to do that in this video. Because what I really discovered is that a lot of people find that artificial intelligence gives very generic responses. You ask them like, how do I make more money, or what do I need to do? And it gives really generic responses because it's pulling information from all over the internet. So those responses aren't very helpful to you. So what is the solution to that, right? And my answer to that question is that you need to treat artificial intelligence like a friend, like a mentor, like someone who's able to consult you and guide you along the way. And the only way you can actually achieve and do that is you need to share a little bit about what you are or who you are as a person with the artificial intelligence. And again, when I'm talking about artificial intelligence, I'm talking specifically about generative AI, right? Things like ChatGPT, something that everybody have access with. Like, imagine if somebody is able to consult you, pull all the information in the world, organize it properly for you. Like, you have a much better chance of success if you had somebody at your side 24/7. And all of us has access to it. We just don't know how to use that power. So really, I digress. Back to my, topic right here is that you want to treat artificial intelligence like a friend, like a mentor. So you need to share with it what your interests are, what your dreams are, what your goals are, what are you good at, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what do you really want? And that way the AI is able to understand who you are as a person, what do you want and what do you need. And with that information right now, they can then go scour the internet, find all the valuable information and start answering questions and give you responses that's more specific, more tailored, more customized to what you're actually going to need. And I think that's the missing component that people don't use or don't include when they're using artificial intelligence. That's where they kind of give up so quickly. So I want to show you how to actually do that in this video. So here's what we're going to do. It's going to be a 3-step process. I'm going to show you how to share with artificial intelligence so you can prompt them and prepare them for who you are as a person and how they should respond to you. I'm then going to show you how you can actually ask it for advice, for suggestions of things you can actually do. And lastly, I'm going to teach you how you can prompt the AI to eventually ask it for first steps on how you can actually take action. And I'm going to show you everything. And in fact, if you are interested in actually following along on this, I will have a worksheet that you can download at the end of this video as well. All you need to do right here, as you can see on the screen, is go ahead and open up a chat on ChatGPT. And you need to start teaching the AI who you are as a person. So I have a few questions that we can answer over here, and I'm going to do it in real time with you. And don't worry about this. If you want to, answer these questions yourself and all that, I'm going to have a worksheet you can download in the description. So I'm just going to show you how to do this. So really quickly, I'm just going to answer these questions, right? So here's a little bit about me. What's my role as a healthcare provider? And again, you don't have to be a healthcare worker. You can be anyone, a lawyer, an engineer. You can fill this out, right? It can be generalized to any sort of profession. I'm just focusing on healthcare workers right now. So I am an occupational therapist. My years of experience is 6. My strengths, I am good at communication. I'm very good at organizing solutions and helping people with their health. And lastly, I'm also good at creating worksheets and exercise programs for people. Just an example, I'm just riffing things off. You can spend more time on it, but this is just something that I'm gonna put. People thank me for being clear with my teachings, helping them understand the steps they need to take to get better or solve a solution. Outside of work, I love to play video games. If you're an OG on this channel, you know I'm a huge gamer, I'm a huge nerd, but yeah, I digress. I love to play video games. I like to explore artificial intelligence. I enjoy being outdoors and working out. Okay, just a few things. You can spend more time with it, but I'm making a video for you guys, so I'm just kind of being pretty quick with it. Something I've always wanted to do. I want to help healthcare workers be more empowered to chase their dreams and scale their income. I feel that AI is a great way to achieve this and want to teach them how to do so. And lastly here, the impact I want to have is I want to empower 100 healthcare workers to start their own business, scale their income online, and live happier and freer. How do I spell freer? Lives. Okay, I totally butchered the spelling, but you guys get the point, right? So what I'm doing right now is I'm showing the artificial intelligence what's on my mind, what are my interests, what do I actually want? And these are some really basic questions. You can get very, very in-depth with this, but this is something. So I can add just a little prompt here, right? Like, here's a little bit about me. I'm all these different things. then I can just add at the last part here, just like keep this as reference for the next questions I will ask you. So now we prompt it. I'm just going to hit this right here and the AI is going to respond, right? So I'm going to give it a little bit of time and whatnot. So got it. I'm ready to go wherever you are. So this part is so crucial. I think a lot of people skip, right, this step. They simply go to an AI bot. They start asking you a bunch of questions. How do I get more money as a healthcare professional? What should I do? And they give a bunch of generic responses and nothing really vibes with you. Nothing connects with you. And that's because you didn't really prompt the artificial intelligence, right? It's just pulling information from everywhere. You need to tell it exactly who you are and what you want. Now that you've already prompted and shared and teach the AI who you are, you can then go on to the next part, is to start exploring the possibilities. So now that artificial intelligence understands who you are, you can go ahead and ask it the next question, right? That's here. I'm just going to copy and paste something since I already have it prepared and we're going to read it together, right? So based on what I just shared, can you help me brainstorm a few ways I could use my strengths or passion to help others? Maybe through a digital product, a course, content, or even service, whatever it is that you think you would like, right? This is just brainstorming. This is a brainstorming activity. You don't have to follow through everything. Feel free to get creative, but keep it aligned with what I care about and the kind of impact I want to make. And I want to add a little extra note is try to focus on the artificial intelligence parts and how to help other healthcare workers. I mean, if you think about it, that's literally what I'm doing right now, making this video. So I just want to kind of show you guys how this has basically helped me create videos, do what I need to do and all these kind of things. So I'm asking this question right now and let's see what it responds, right? Let's just explore. So here we go. The first idea, at least, is a digital product, an AI-powered practice builder toolkit for healthcare workers, whatever it is. The point of this exercise is just to brainstorm and see what's out there. You don't have to follow everything. And in fact, you're going to be doing a lot of tweaking. But this is the first step to understanding what you're capable of with your current skill set. So something here is that I could create a plug and play Notion or Google Sheet toolkit that guides healthcare workers in creating their first online offer, right? So I can create a bunch of worksheets. I can create something that I can share with you, just almost like what I'm going to share in the description, right? A worksheet to teach you guys how to do something. Second thing, I can go ahead and create an online course, AI for healthcare freedom, pretty generic name, whatever. The point here is I want to read, like, what does this really mean? Like, how do I actually create this course, right? It's a 4 to 6 week online course teaching healthcare workers how to use AI to identify their niche and business ideas. Very cool. Automate 80% of their backend, and not that important. We don't really get that many emails, right? You see, so you need to kind of combine it with what you want. You can't just accept the information that AI is offering you and then create a simple offer. So some examples right here, but you get the points, right? And you can go over this, ask for more, ask it to tweak it for things, whatever it is. So this is kind of how you start to brainstorm a little bit more specifically because now AI knows what you want. So it's giving you information based on what you're asking for. Now, last step right here, right? Once you get some idea, let's just take number 2 as an example. I think this is a great idea, an online course, AI for healthcare freedom. I want to take that first step. I want to do something, but I don't know what to do. So again, we can use artificial intelligence to do so, right? So you can go ahead and ask it. I love to take one of those ideas and turn it into something real. Let's explore idea number 2. The online course, right? Can you help me figure out the first simple step I can take to start building it, even if I only have a few hours a week? I know as a healthcare worker, you don't have a lot of time, but let's word it this way. Break it down like a coach would. What should I do this week to begin? I hit enter. Again, everything's taking like 5 to 10 minutes, right? So you can do this from the comfort of your own home as well. And here we go. Week 1. Is telling me literally what I need to do. Your commitment here, 2 to 3 hours. Your objective, start small by defining the course outcome. Who is it for? And outlining your minimal viable product. This is very business oriented. I love it already, right? And this gives you clarity and momentum without needing to do anything fancy yet, right? Remember, artificial intelligence is literally searching the entire internet for the best information for you and delivering it to you. So you don't exactly have to listen to it, but you should at least take some of the advice that it's giving you, right? So define the one hero outcome here. So it's telling you your task for the week. I'm just going to skip a bunch of these things. Open Google Doc, write your version of this in one sentence and add a short why does this matter beneath it. So your prompt here, by the end of this course, a healthcare worker will be able to do what? Like, what is your course trying to achieve? Step number 2, write a 3 to 4 sentence course intro, right? So step number 3, draft a simple 4-module outline, gives you a bunch of examples and so forth, right? So the whole reason that I wanted to do this is to show you what you're capable of, right? With artificial intelligence, because I think a lot of healthcare workers they don't understand the capabilities of what AI can do because they haven't explored it enough. So back to the question at the start of the video, how much are you worth? Nobody knows, but it is up to you to decide that. It's not up to the corporations or the hospital or the system to decide that. You have to take the reins and decide for yourself. Because I believe that we've been raised to actually think that working in healthcare is the end goal, that we just accept whatever the salary and the market price of that career is. That is what you have to accept. But I refuse to do that. I believe that as a healthcare worker, you have very valuable skills that is gate-weighted by a system. Gate-weighted is you're basically blocked by a system, right? You have all these valuable skills and knowledge, but you're unable to scale simply because of how things are designed. But now with the power of technology, with artificial intelligence, if you're creative enough and you're willing to explore and work hard, you are able to create a life where you can most likely make money from the comfort of your home, spend more time with the family, make a lot more than what you're actually capable of, and you can still help people and still chase that vision and mission of helping people and making the world a better place. So that's really what I believe. And if you believe in this as well, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, because this is a series where I'll be posting a lot more information on how you can use artificial intelligence to empower yourself, especially as a healthcare worker. But honestly, if you're in any sort of profession, if you're an engineer, lawyer, whatever it is, there is a way you can benefit from this information. So quick reminder again, if you are interested in what I just did, you want kind of a worksheet to follow along, you can go ahead, check the description below. You'll be able to download it completely for free and just try it yourself and see what you think. So yeah, that's about it. I hope you found something valuable from the video again. And like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the very next one. Thanks for watching. Later.